Hi everyone, I'm Eric, and today we're doing an abridged review of The Devil is a Part-Timer Abridged by Junkhouse Studios.
I'm gonna rip out your spleens and feed them to the customers.
Should I use my magic?
What's up?
Shit, why didn't you want to talk to me? Is she really gonna do it? I'm dead. I'm so fucking dead!
Settle! There's no need to worry. I've taken enough spleens today, although it's spleen fun teasing you. I've been waiting a week for that. Nailed it.
Now, before I go any further, this is going to be an in-depth look at a few points that really make this a standout abridged series on YouTube. Now, to do that, I will be going to what are colloquially known by the smart people who are on the YouTubes and the webs and the tubes. Spoilers. Yes, that's right. I will be going into spoiler territory. Be warned. Now, what makes this show really good is its use of characterization. Now, the standard abridged angle is to overhype the characters, take a trait and make it crazier. For example, in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the trendsetter, Goku is smarter in battle than out, and he's quite bright in battle, but outside of it, he's kind of oblivious. In the Abridged, he's an absolute dumbass. Absolute. Yet in battle, he's actually proven on a few occasions to be incredibly brilliant, and it's just overhyped. You just focus more on the dumbassery. In this show, in Devil is a Part-Timer Abridged, Junkhouse Studio did similar to that. Now, some of the characters, they do overhype them. Emmy, for example, is daddy issues in the show. In the Abridged, she is daddy issues. The emphasis is important. Oh my god. Then there's different characters who didn't actually have as much play in the anime, but more in the manga, which I still need to find. There's Lucy, who is just more of an interesting character, where originally, I'll be kind of honest, I don't even remember a single line he had in the canon. I love Devil is a Part-Timer. I don't remember much of Lucy, except that he was kind of a villain, and that he was kind of a shut-in. Yeah, that's really it. And then there's Crestia Bell. There's many things to say about her. Many of them, by her own design, would be, oh my god, why are you doing that? For various levels. Not all of them are because she's about to violently murder people. She had terrible taste in music. These three characters are the defining ways to explain how this show treats characterization, because they don't just hype them up. They take a trait and they play it up. They'll reimagine a character. In the case of Lucy, they will give them interactions that are completely non-canon, but sell it by making it a believable and repetitive part of the show because other people mention it. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And just by doing that, they emphasize why it is integral to the characters, redefine the characters, and change them in such a way that they become more interesting. But let's go back a step. Starting with Emmy. She is the one who is mostly the same to canon, just hyped more. Much more hyped.
Well, the hero doesn't have enough energy to defeat us. Let her in, Alshiel. What's the worst that could happen?
This room will be your tomb.
Like I said, she has daddy issues. She watched the bad guys, kill her father. Kill her father. In this version, though, she actually was sold off to the church by her gambling father after her mother left, and just, it was bad. Yeah. She's really got issues in this one.
You know how your mother died a vague amount of time ago?
Yeah?
And how I've been sending you to bed by 3 p.m. every day for the last few months so I can go do farm stuff?
Yeah?
Well, I don't know the first thing about farms. That and your mother was an angel, and I have a gambling addiction.
Huh? What did you just say?
The farming bit?
After that.
I lost you in a gambling bet with the cardinal?
No, about my mother being an angel or something. Wait, what?
Shh.
Literally, they have found if they want to blue screen her for any amount of time, saying, Daddy, is a good way to do it, and it's been used on multiple occasions in the show itself. Specifically, the ending. And almost every other time the word is said. It's actually something I find personally amusing. What makes this stand out is that they really hype up the trauma around it, that she is not just someone who's motivated by it, but that her psychosis, and it is psychosis, is that she is truly kind of crazy because she's on that roaring rage revenge run, and then she'll do some really screwed up stuff. But a lot of it is tied into that. They made one change, which is overhyping the daddy issues, and then it spiraled out into she's just a little crazier. She's just a little more bloodthirsty. She's just a little more... whatever the hell that cop scene was.
Okay, so let's run through this one more time from the top. So you're both from a different
He knows
world
too much
already.
too early in the series.
You're the noble
We're
hero Amelia,
fucked.
and
What are we
you
gonna
are
do?
satanic
On the
Dr.
count of 3, we
Strange,
jump
so world
in, and
domination
then afterwards you eat his
annihilation.
corpse to conceal the death.
Dude.
Well, it's all outside of my
Agreed.
jurisdiction, and you don't seem to be dangerous,
1,
so I'm gonna let you go. Head out the
2,
front, collect your belongings, and then you're free to...
It was weird. And these are changes that really redefine our characters from being the big good knight on a shiny hill who was just misinformed, but then came to the good side to, oh my god, you have done more screwed up things than the screwed up demons who were screwed up. And it's hilarious because it's an inversion on top of an overhyping of a character trait that already existed and how it plays into the rest of her. And it's just fun to watch because you get to see her redefine herself through a reinterpretation of canon. It's not that she's different, it's that we're noticing different emphasis on plot points and character points that would change how we view her. And yes, it did also change her actions, but many of the actions we see happen in show after those points have been confirmed through dialogue or events. And it's fun because it's well handled. If this was played serious, she would be very scary. Not gonna lie, she would be terrifying. She's one of the more serial killery people in the show because of her actions and her just drive to really screw things up for other people when she's in that mood. And it works. It's funny. But this is still close to the original character. It's a reimagination, but it's within the bounds of what canon kind of put up there, and then they just altered a bit. It's not so much shattering the character with a sledgehammer as just tapping them until they kind of move in a different direction over time. Then we get to Lucy. Yes, I know he has another name. I'm not calling him that. That is a form of respect. I'm not giving him that form of respect. He's Lucy. Lucy was introduced as a villain and was actually really kind of cool because he was like, I'm mysterious and I have power and I'm going to destroy you for my own reasons and you will never understand. And I was like, shut up, Lucy. And he immediately loses all respect.
Get ready for the fisting of a lifetime, Lucy.
Lucy.
That's right, you little bitch. You've been demoted.
But what makes him truly interesting is that they really play with his shut-in nature. They make it so that he will call into Emmy just to troll her on the phone, that he will buy things in bulk, and it's hilarious when they do the over-the-top reactions. These are just little shorts they put in, little things they put in as an aside. But they acknowledge that he's there, he's a character, and that is actually the change, because real Lucy was, oh hey, it's a trope. We're getting the band back together. He's going to sit in the corner and not be part of anything because he's there. He's integral. Did we not give him lines for the last couple episodes? Oops. I personally think he was almost a non-entity in the canon. That's my opinion. Now, I can't say for the manga. I haven't seen it. I know it went much farther than the anime did. Still hoping for another season. But he was more involved in the show, and he had some of the funniest lines because he was just so completely dry and straight about it. He was the straight man. He was the dry humor delivery, who at the same time also completely had a sarcastic streak. And it worked because a dry delivery of sarcastic humor from a straight man character is actually very effective.
No, I just bought a whole heap of stuff from Craigslist, and after hitting it with a UV light, I'm gonna go throw most of it out.
What?
Meh, didn't cost us a cent. I used Emmy's credit card.
What?
He has an interesting characterization because it's actually a characterization. He's in the show more. And that's... I gotta give them credit for that because they took a character who was almost a side character and made him actually important. They've actually done that to other characters. Emmy's coworker, for example, I finally remembered her name because she was hilarious in the little screen time she had. They had limits because there was very little screen time. But they did it for all the characters. Lucy is just the best example of giving a character who was demoted to secondary, actual time to be funny, develop a personality, to just make an impression. And yes, he's again just the most representative of it because they did this for quite a few characters. But for him specifically, something he didn't share with anyone else was his connection to the third person, to Crestia Bell. Because apparently in this one, they were a thing.
And that freeloader over there is Lucy.
Oh, hello, Lucy. Nice to meet you for the first time.
Who the hell is that? Nice to meet you also. For the first time, that is.
She is different than the others. Where for Emmy, they just heightened and changed her. With Lucy, they just elevated. For her, no, they freaking shattered her characterization. They found that sledgehammer, figured it wasn't big enough, put spikes on it, maybe add a little dog shit, add insult to injury on the end of the spikes, and a little capsaicin, and if they could, a few surviving fire ants so that whenever you pound it down, they will crawl off and bite whoever they slam. So it's not just the pain and the shit and the humiliation, it is also the bites of fire ants, and that is her characterization. It is torturous to everyone else. For us, she is an over-the-top bundle of insanity that is unleashed upon the characters in this abridged in the most demented ways possible. And by that, I definitely mean Lucy.
Yeah, you hang those clothes, you domesticated bitch.
Look, Susano, they don't know about us, and I'd like to keep it that way. It happened one time, okay?
Yeah, one time. Repeatedly. For 12 years.
Look, I was in a dark place, okay?
I was in your dark place.
Can you just not be a creeper? Just for like 1 second. Just come on, man. Like,
Huh?
Her and Lucy were a thing. They are not a thing anymore. But she still has a few bits of him, you could say. For souvenirs. I don't want to say it because that would get me demonetized. Let's just say I enjoy this take on her because she is different in such a profound way that most people don't even acknowledge that she's the same character. Mostly because she is so profoundly different, she really isn't. She's just a completely OC character in a Crestia Bell-shaped appearance. And it works brilliantly. She's not just an inversion, which is one of the ways you can do it. She's not a hyping up. She is a redefinition of a characteristic taken to an extreme and given relevant plot and character development to make her actually stand out as more than just the, hey, I'm here, placeholder that a lot of early writing has. This is not early writing, and it shows, because she is malicious. She goes out and she tries to harm people in her opening introduction in the abridged, and she loves it. And then there's the running joke of how she's actually secretly trying to spy on them, but she's not really doing it. She's not actually there to spy on them. She's here to kill them, but not get caught.
I'm so weak and innocent. Oh.
What?
Phase 1 of Investigate Don't Kill, but actually kill. Complete.
The entire time she's on screen, anyone who has control over her is trying to get her to tone it down. And where in the canon one, she was just going along with the dark plans of the people in charge because they were in power and she was lied to. In this one, it's like, no, the people in power are rational and they're telling her to stop. But she is a bloodthirsty psycho who enjoys torturing others because she is monstrous. You can see the pattern. But it works because it's, well, just downright funny. She is a sadist. She kind of gets into the yandere thing, but honestly, I don't think she has enough connection to anyone. Maybe Lucy? Yeah, it's why I'm on the fence of calling her a sadist or a yandere, because it's kind of like, I'm not really sure which one I'd fall on. I'm leaning to sadist myself. But it's fun to watch because she is so over the top in this crazed mentality that she does insane things. And when it breaks, when her plans fall apart, she literally spends the transition between two complete episodes going in a no, mental breakdown. And the fact that they carried it between different episodes really hammered home how much the break in her plan affected her.
Sometimes I wonder what goes on inside of that head of hers.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
And yet somehow she's also one of the characters that managed to still keep the same character progression. It's different. She doesn't end up doing anything different than what her canon counterpart did, but the way about going about it, the way her thought process changed, really differentiates her. Where her canon counterpart was coming to terms that her superiors were wrong and she could think for herself, this one is coming to terms with that maybe she doesn't have to be as evil as they said. She's still pretty damn evil. That's just my opinion. I will stick to that one. But it's actually, she's becoming nicer throughout it, in a still evil, dickish way. It's like going from, I am the evil of the series, to, I'm gonna dick with you because it's fun. I will say, though, as far as individual jokes go out, the running gag they gave her, the one where she's like, these are my interior thoughts of secret plan to secretly watch them and not kill them, but actually kill them. It's the funniest because it really hammers home the one change in her personality that redefines everything. It's what shattered her mold. She is very much her own person. She is very much independent. She is very much a strong character with room for growth because she's very, very wrong. Oh my God, she is really screwed up. But she celebrates that about herself. And it really is entirely different from her canon counterpart, who was strong physically, but little more than a pawn. Where this one, they would like her just to sit home and not do anything, but they know for a fact that if they did that, she would be the next serial killer. And at least when she's on their payroll, they can kind of control her, and then they can believe they're kind of controlling her, which they're really not.
We received a report saying that you slaughtered the entire village.
Oh, good, you got it.
We told you to question them.
I did.
Well?
They proved unresponsive.
Did you question them before or after you killed them?
You want me to say after? Oh.
Susanoo, I dare say we have another mission for you.
Ooh, pretty keen for another mish.
She is a great example of this, and other characters have shades of it, but it usually falls between a lesser extent of what they did to Crestia, or to the just nudging they did with Emmy to hype it up, but maybe change the actions as they progress based on that. But that is what makes this show so good. There's a whole range of how they treat the characters, and yeah, that is the biggest point, because they didn't actually change much of the events. Everything happened in the same order, the same pace, in the same way, but the surrounding context is different. The characters are different. The way they've done it is different. It's almost a redub, except they changed the characters thoroughly enough that it still counts as an abridge. It's just funny. It is humorous. They have introduced elements of humor that are truly worth remembering. And I would honestly say this is one of the shows that if you haven't watched it, you should go see it. And that's why this show deserves 7 scary Emmy faces. It is a very good show. It is a very good abridged. The writing is good. And while there is a little misstep at the beginning with some of the audio sounding off, it's a minor thing. It goes away after the first episode. And the mainline numbered shows in the abridged, because there's a few specials that are just done quickly, but they're quite funny in their own right. I would definitely recommend watching them in order. The numbered episodes in this are at a solid level of quality content that is good audio, good editing, and great jokes. This is a plot-driven show that focuses on characters to make it abridged. It's good. I would highly recommend it. Even with a silly accent, highly recommend it. Not sure what that accent is. I'm not going to do that again. Just remember, though, that this is one that is based around the characterization. And because of that, it's actually a bit funnier when you know what they're being changed from. It's not required to enjoy the show, but it helps tremendously. It's just a good example of what an abridged can be. It doesn't take any huge risks, but it does what it does, and it does it to a masterful level. It's a solid abridged, and if you want to patent off what to expect out of an abridged, this is a very good guideline. This is the control in any test of what an abridged should be. It doesn't try anything and fail. It doesn't fail at anything it should do. It just does it, and it does it really well. And for that alone, you should definitely watch it. And again, thanks for watching, everyone. I will be putting up a poll later on my channel to see what video to do next week for the review. And yeah, thanks for watching. Later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And for everyone who's supporting me on Patreon, thank you so very much. It does make it so much easier to get these videos out, along with a bunch of other new original series that I'm starting to work on. So again, to all the Patreons who are helping supporting this, thank you. And if you're interested in joining, there is a link on the screen. For everyone else, thanks for watching again. See you guys in the next one.